So welcome back to Snug Park, which we find in our second match. It is the combination of Channel and Storm up against the visitors in Glenorchy. In the first game, it was an absolute cracker between the Roos and the Channel boys, which ended up with the Roos just holding on there, Duff.
Oh, it was a great game, wasn't it, Andrew? It was all Clarence in that first half in the under-14s, and then Channel came home with a wet sail, but yeah, pulled up about 2 goals short.
So the boys have got that little bit bigger. They've come up in the under 16.5, and don't you notice the difference, Duff?
Yeah, there's some big lads out there.
Much bigger boys, and of course we'll be going for that a little bit longer. And if that person over there is watching, I reckon if they just need to turn those lights off, Duff, otherwise they're probably not going to get home tonight, which will be a little bit problematic. And I do know that it's going to be a challenge to get into the Snug Beach and Cabin and Caravan Park, because a lot of the players, I think there was quite a few Glenorchy families staying down, Duff, and maybe 1 or 2 from Clarence have already gone over there for the night. They've booked cabins in advance, and they did the right thing, didn't they?
Last weekend of the school holidays, why not?
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. So here is Glenorchy. Well played. That was young Zachy Martin. Got it further afield, but it's coming out with interest here, and Channel go forward. And of course the combination, Duff, between Channel and Storm, that's a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah, great to see it. You know, not quite enough for 2 teams, so the 2 clubs got together and made sure that the boys have got a team to play in.
Which I think is wonderful. As well done there by Duncan. Duncan driving the ball forward. It's almost like he just pinpoint accuracy right to Lucas Polly of the Saints. It's interesting to look at that Glenorchy outfit, Duff. It seems reasonably white. It's almost like an away strip, isn't it?
Yeah.
They got sometimes it's more dominant of the black, but it's because maybe those white backs with the numbers and the white shorts. It just looks a bit wider, don't you think?
Not sure what Collingwood do in that regard.
Well, they have the normal ones are the same black and white stripe, but it's a thinner stripe on the away. So maybe that's something that the forward-thinking president out there,
of course, he'd be tuning
Mr. Barwick.
Is it Peter Barwick, I think?
I think it's Peter Barwick, who is the very, very much forward-thinking president. And would he be listening, Duff, or would he be actually here at the game?
Oh, I think he'd be tuning in. He's a busy man, putting his feet up, back in the lounge suite, just watching Duff TV.
And talking of him, Duff, I think he's one of the major co-partners of this evening, isn't he?
He is, actually, yes.
Water Industry
Solution, Peter's company, doing great things out there in the community, and has contributed to our fee tonight, which we do appreciate very much. Thank you, Peter.
Great tackle there by Tyler Roach for Channel. Just enables that ball to have a bit of a stoppage. It was Bailey Thompson, the vice-captain for the Maggies, who was trying to burst his way clear, but was put paid to that from a very, very nice tackle indeed. No one's really getting the upper hand just at this early stage of stuff. It's sort of been played in and around the 50 arcs, hasn't it?
It's a game of the half-back lines at the moment, but a lot of games start this way as the teams just sort of find their feet.
Certainly does. That was young Lucas Shupp, who tried to take that ball and almost got the falcon there. It just sort of came through and hit him on the bonch. You can see here, bang, straight on right on top of the hooter there, Duff. And as Jerry was chuckling in the back pocket, that's the reason why we had the mood food replay, just to see it at that young man's expense. But Channel do a very nice job. Do we call them Channel or Storm, Duff, or do we just call them the Saints? I think just the Saints.
Maybe the Saints will go with.
I think so. So it is the Saints, and they were just up there a few minutes ago. Talking of Channel, though, Duff has a brilliant tackle there by Bryce Summers, as played to advantage, but been called back. So many people up there from the Past Players Association in the club room, Duff.
Well, of course, Channel was a very strong club down here, and only folded in, I think, the seniors and reserves about maybe a decade ago now, which is very sad. But great to see those old stalwarts, those old legends from the past here tonight celebrating that great club of Channel Football Club. Yep.
And talking of which, here are the Saints as they go inside their forward 50. Wasn't that a great competition back in the day, Duff? The Hewan competition. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. As good tackle is Glenorchy, though. through the agency of Hutton. Hutton, raking kick, finds some space. I like that Guernsey though, Duff, that shows us that big magpie on the front there with that swish. Very, very impressive. It's close to the boundary line. It's really been the battle of the back lines. Evasive skill shown by Boxall. Boxall gets it back in. They are going very, very wide here. That can be a bit of a trap, Duff, can't it, back here at Sculthorpe Park?
Yeah, very deep.
It's a big ground.
Here. Yeah. It's not. It's fairly long, but it's very deep pockets.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Pretty much like you, Duff. You've got deep pockets, but you're very friendly, and you always put the hands in those deep. Always up for a shout, Duff. Sorry, I was interrupting what you were saying.
I was just going to say Sculthorpe Park or Sculthorpe Arena have we got down here?
I think it's more arena feel to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sculthorpe Arena. I like that's got a ring to it, as this might be Duncan. They're persisting with that width, Duff, but they've got a spare player, so it was a pinpoint accuracy there that saw the forward lead out and taken that mark. Pretty tied up against the boundaries we saw there on the Mood Food replay, and it's going to be Martin just taking a few deep breaths.
Yeah, this is a tough angle.
You were down there earlier in the day, Duff. I know we came down for the setup around midday, and you were having a few kicks from the deep pockets just to fill us in for the commentators. How did you go on this angle?
No, I didn't kick the ball as well as that. I'll tell you what, he's only just missed that.
He's just shaved the post.
Well, at the time, Andrew, that they had the super sopper out.
Yep.
That was organised. I don't know who organised that. Probably Brad. Does everything else down here at this club. And, yeah, they did a great job because it was very wet underfoot when I was having a kick with Jerry at midday. And but the ground's dried out quite a lot.
It did. The only thing I can mention there, if next time you have that shots for goal, it's not fair that you put it out from 50 because you're a towering kick. Poor old Jerry, though, can only kick about 30, can't kick after a jam jar. So you're going to have to sort of tighten that up a little bit for further contests, as it is Glenorchy. That was Kelafui. Now, tell me a little bit about the Tongan experiment going out there with Glenorchy, because there's been a lot of fantastic work done by the Glenorchy Football Club.
Yeah.
One Peter Barwick getting across to Tonga Dust, and we're seeing there in Kelafui and such names popping up for the Glenorchy Magpies.
Yeah, well, there's two of the boys, I think, playing in this game, and they've come out from Tonga, and they're actually here on a visa.
Yep.
I think they're looking at extending those visas presently at the moment. And yeah, they're playing footy with Glenorchy, and they may create for themselves a new life out here in Australia.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. And Hunter Lockley comes out and takes a fantastic mark. He's a strong-looking rooster, Duff.
Yeah.
As soon as he ran to the ball, look at the authority that came. He just came with great authority and went up, put his dukes up, and he looks very disappointed with himself on that. He just leant back on it, unfortunately, Duff, and put that one across his body. But we're going to have a look at the mark. So that's something that can hang his hat on. When he attacks the ball like this, look at this. Brilliant. Brilliant mark.
He's a brute force of a young boy, isn't he? Very strong player.
Yep.
So you'd love to have any player like him down at full forward in your side. Young Lockley.
Of course, Tutai Havia came out, and he was the Matthew Richardson medal winner, Duff, for the best first-year player playing for Lauderdale. So there has been a number of Tongans have come through. I know that they've got lots of Tongan ladies playing in the SFLW for Glenorchy as well. So it's great to see the link between our country and theirs.
Yeah, no, all that's been brought about by our friend Peter Barwick and his association with our friend Manu.
Manu Fanu.
We won't keep talking about it for too long. We will get back to the game, but it is a great story of what Peter and Manu are doing over there in the island of Tonga.
Yep.
And I had the very great fortune of going over last year and meeting some wonderful people over there. And of course, they've got AFL Tonga is up and running, and a really good, strong competition. And it's only going to get bigger.
Well, that was Stevanovic for the Magpies, leading out very, very strongly. Couldn't quite bring it in, and the umpire throwing that one up. Good tap down there by the Magpies. Stevanovic at the bottom yet again. Trying to pick up as well. There was Griffith just skirting the pack. Also Fafita, very fleet of foot young fella. Just can't quite pick up the ball. Handballed further afield was Duncan. This time the Saints get it. So Glenorchy have done the majority of inside those 50s, but because of the couple of missed kicks, though, they've only rewarded in the 2 behind. So the game still interesting to find out, Duff. They're still feeling their way at this stage. Comes inside the 50, running hard was Camerick. Can't quite pick up the ball. Plenty of a pressure being applied by the Saints now. They've got numbers, looking to spread it wide. They're all around the ball. Now there's an opportunity. I think that might have been Duncan who bursts out of the pack. But again, you've got to try and maximise your opportunities, Duff, when you do have the footy in your forward 50. And at the moment, Glenorchy, as irrepressible as they are, they just haven't been able to put the goals through yet.
Oh, geez, hot on the mic there, isn't he? Hot on the whistle, I should say. Anyway, umpire was closest and always gets it right. That's what I say, Andrew. Free kick there to the Pies. But you're right. They've been, I don't know what the forward 50 entries has been so far.
I think Jerry will be onto that in just a few moments to keep us updated. But again, the forwards leading out, and that was Zach Cassidy, one of the co-captains of the Magpies. And it was a very nice lead. And these are the kicks, like we mentioned in the previous game, Duff, is where in the modern football, you never actually kick it at the person. You always just kick out in the front and let the forward lead into the space. Tell you what, it is a very, very high kick. Oh, well, the accuracy was there, but not the distance. I think that one has been dropping the ball, holding the ball, whatever you would like to call it. All I know is, Duff, it is a Magpie free kick. And it was Jed Kroshka, and he has put it through for the Magpies' first goal.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate there. I thought that kick actually on goal earlier was going through for a goal, but he just held up and he's taken it. But
fair bit of height here, Duff. He went about as high as one of those cranes that were up there from Cranes Combined at your house the other day. Have a look at that. And just awareness. You knew that when you pick up the football with all these players around you, it's going to be a hot footy. So I reckon the learning experience there, Duff, will be urgency over the football when you pick it up. There's got to be urgency over the footy.
So a bit of a slow start here again by Channel. We saw that in the under-14s, and then they came home in the second half. But
so Glenorchy now, Duff. I think, what are they? 1 goal, 3-9 to the Channel yet to score.
Yeah, we'll just correct that score there. Thank you, Jerry. Just got that around the wrong way. I think that's just confusing us there a little bit, isn't it, the score?
Oh, I'm sure it's not Jerry. We understand that there was
some problem with AI.
Yeah, well, there was a hack down at the airport. And I know that the terrorists have been trying to hack into Duff TV and put Jerry off. So maybe that was one of those Middle Eastern hack stuff or Russian hacks that's got into Jerry's finest work. Because I know he doesn't make any mistakes. So here is Glenorchy, and that is Henry Horn. Horn takes off very, very swift. There's a famous name in STJFL parlours, Duff. Horn. Here is the young man evading. There was Palu Fafita.
Yes.
Kicks it back around, looking for the leading Cassidy, who he looks very, very likely when he leads out from centre half forward, Duff.
Yeah, and the two players there from Tonga featuring already in this match, young Tavita and Fafita, only been playing footy for a few years back in Tonga, and like we said, come out here to play for Glenorchy this year, and looking like real footballers ready to go.
Here is Horn. Horn goes the short pass and leading up, resplendent in the pink boots. I think again you'll find this is young Cassidy, and he looks to be a bit of a handful, Duff. If he gets off the lead, we know he can kick a bag. Look at him demanding the ball. And why wouldn't you go to him? It was a good lead. One of those tick leads, going back and then creating the space in front of him. So here he goes. Cassidy, left footer. We know he gets plenty of height on it, Duff, but you've got to make the most of them. That's a couple of misses there from the set shot, which moves Glenorchy to 1 goal 5, is it? Or 1 goal 4? We'll just check on that. 1 goal 4-10 to the Saints yet to score. So on the bright side, Duff, it's been all Glenorchy, but they just are only the 10 points up.
Yeah, it's a very close match still, but good opportunity here for Channel as they're really just trying to burst it forward here.
Well, they get it as far as centre half forward, but they've got all the answers down there deep as Horn picks it up. Goes back in to get it again. They've just got numbers and numbers there as Horn was held well without the ball. And he was retarded, and he's going to get the free kick.
Yeah, the free kick count too is really going Glenorchy's way, but the umpire's right on the spot. Always got to just call it as he sees it.
Well, the reality is, Duff, if you're the team that's prepared to put your head over the footy, you're going to get the free kick. And it's a really bit of a furphy sometimes if we look at stats on free kicks. The reality is Glenorchy are the only ones putting their head first to the ball. So naturally, they're the ones who potentially will be rewarded for those free kicks.
And look at that. There's another Fletcher Murray that's playing in this game. He's doubling up.
Oh, he's unbelievable. Very, very good young man, no doubt about that.
Jeez,
there is McCullum.
He must be fit. This will be his third game in 3 days.
Oh, you run all day, Duff. As I say, he reminds me of you in your heyday with Lorraine Grammar. Back over.
I think only about half the talent that boy's got, let me tell you.
If only we had a camera in the commentary, because I tell you what, Duff, you are looking very fit.
Yeah.
Very fit indeed.
Good on you, Andrew.
So, yeah, doesn't help that you've had 3 of those chicken burgers, Duff. Tell you what, how good were they, the chicken burger? The Sculthorpe chicken burger, that one has gone close to the line. And, of course, all the produce for that chicken burger, Duff, came up from Meredith Orchards. They bought the lettuce, the tomatoes, all of that, the coleslaw. That all came from the Meredith Orchards, and, again, we thank them. So here come the Saints. A little delicate kick, trying to find the lead there. Running out was Clark, can't pick the ball up. Good enough to go back in it again. Good, strong tackling by the Magpies. They've got numbers around the footy. Arching the back, that was Boxall. Goes to get it again. Boxall taken that little bit too high. He's fainted.
Goes
and
well.
He's been given the kick. You see how cool it is, Duff?
Yeah.
Because when the players are exhaling, plenty of steam coming from them.
I tell you what, very impressive young Nick Boxall. He's having a really stellar game. Uses the ball beautifully, like we just saw there a couple of kicks back, and yeah, very impressive player.
Here is Martin. Martin normally uses the ball well, goes towards the lead. You can see the fellas there showing their strength, and that was Duncan. Duncan comes back in. Just unfortunately, there was Toomey slipping at the inappropriate time. But they've got numbers back there, have the Saints, as that one just barrels end over end as we've slipped into the 17.5-minute mark of this first quarter. We hope you're enjoying the game here. It is STJFL Friday night football. We've had the under-14s ply their trade, and now here are the bigger boys, the under-16.5s. It's Glenorchy, excuse me, deep into this first quarter. Try and drive the ball inside their 50 again. One of the things I reckon that maybe the coaches might work on, Duff, is some of this pinpoint accuracy. I reckon the conditions don't allow it, as that's a lovely mark, again, taken by Zach Cassidy.
What would you be saying
is maybe look for a bit of open space. Instead of trying to spot the player, it's very tricky in these conditions. So maybe ignore that shorter lead if it's not really, really wide open. Go for the longer one that is to open space. So this man here has been very dangerous, Stuff, but hasn't hurt the scoreboard yet.
No, big chance here, though. Kicking from about 27 metres out.
Here he goes.
Cassidy.
Better.
Same again. Looking
kick, but same result as before. And you wonder if this might come back to haunt them later in the game, because we know that your Channel Storm players, certainly once they warm up, Duff, they come home hard in the latter stages of the game.
Of course, Cassidy's a big name in local footy. Hey? I remember a Cassidy used to play not that long ago. I think he was a left footer too. You never know, he could be related.
You never know, Duff.
You never know.
It is a free kick, and it is coming back here to Glenorchy, and it might even have been Cassidy who goes in. Long raking kick under plenty of pressure now. Can't quite take it, as up and about was Kelafui. Can't bring it in. Murray gets a quick kick. Ball's in dispute. Tackled without the ball.
Yep.
And again, Duff, it's another free kick, and because they are going for the ball.
Yep, good umpiring there. Spotted it again.
There is that shorter pass.
20 seconds here. Can they sneak a goal, the Saints?
Well, they haven't really put their best foot forward, but they're only 11 points down, Duff, because of Glenorchy, who have missed a number of opportunities to score goals, and that was a holding the ball there against Chivers, and here come the Storm.
And great umpiring there. I think they said play on, and then they said to themselves, hang on a second, that's probably a free kick, and they blew the whistle.
Well, the ball does come inside the 50, but the siren has gone, and which sees, let's just check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard.
Look at that score.
It is 1-5-11 to the Magpies, to your Channel Southern Storm Saints yet to score. For the goal kicker, of course, was Jed Krushka for the Magpie stuff.
No, interesting. Only 11 points down at quarter time. It only went forward. We might try and find out our inside 50 count, but I'm guessing it was probably 12 times to Glenorchy and maybe about 5 times to Channel.
Ooh.
We'll work on that statistic.
Might be a bit over the odds, but there it is there, 7-9.
Well, but they didn't get it deep, did they?
No, it was just deep on the periphery. Just very shallow entries there, Duff. So it is quarter time here in the under 16.5s. As again, our warm thanks to Water Industry Solutions to sponsor this game from the Glenorchy Football Club. And the major partner is Cranes Combined for the Channel Football Club and all our other partners to whom we'll mention there at halftime. So we're going to take a break here at quarter time. We look forward to your company very shortly when we're back with the second quarter.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter. Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
Cass. Expecting a bit wearing pink boots. That's a target. Look at me, Boots. Look at me. He's such a little rotund fella.
And Andrew, we went out to the huddles, and we've got some big news to report, haven't we, on young player Cassidy?
Yes.
It is the son of Michael Cassidy.
Certainly
local
is.
Footy legend.
Oh, very much so.
One of my favourite local players, let me tell you.
And it's silly of me, I looked out there and I knew that his son Zach, but the last time I saw him, because he used to live at the Lauderdale Football Club,
Yes.
of where I've spent 1 or 2 years, Duff, and he was a little short, rotund chap.
Ah,
and
right.
Here he is now taking after his dear old dad, and he's leading out, he's elongated, he looks as fit as a trout, and he moves very, very nicely, Duff. So, we are back here in the second quarter, and it is the Saints with all to do as they pick up the ball, kick that one around, spoiled. Here go the Magpies, and they've had plenty of it in this quarter. Long kick in, and just backing back and taking a nice mark is Fletcher Murray. Taking time, kicking. Back in towards the centre of the play, and the Magpies have just taken another mark. They're moving the ball well, and we went out and had a little listen at the quarter breaks, and they weren't particularly impressed by the way they went about it there. They just said they needed to be a little bit more direct, and that's what we expect of the game here. So now it is the Channel with handballs. Long raking kick there by Clark. Well played. Long kick again. That's what we want to see. Big work. And there is Cassidy. And so Duff has gone out. And I believe I'm joined by Jonty Pearce. Jonty, welcome on board.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. I'll get back and introduce you more formally in just a minute as we see the Magpies take a mark there, and backing back is Duncan. And Duncan for the Magpies is going to have a shot on goal. Not a lot in this one. You can see here, no angle to speak of, about 2 or 3 metres out, comes back and pops that one through. Nicely done. That's a great start to the Magpies. But Jonty, welcome on board. Of course, I know your home club, of course, is Channel. Tell me a little bit about your pedigree down here at this famous club.
Well, how I got to the club was by Brad. Know Brad for a little bit, as I used to play cricket down here with Calvin, as you know, Calvin Keane. So I was at home with a mate and thought, I feel like doing a bit of coaching, and messaged Brad, and he said, yep, come down, have a crack, mate, and I put myself down in defence to the under-15s last year, and I enjoyed it too much. So
brilliant, brilliant. And you're enjoying the caper, and how is the feel in the club?
Oh, amazing. Field welcome, the boys get around you, and they just love you. Like the way where I've come from, football, teach them, they love it, and they're always sticking around. So it's good to see them sticking around and playing good football.
Oh, well, it's good to have you in with us, Jonty, and we'll get your thoughts as I'll cross to you in just a few moments. But at the moment, it is Glenorchy who've had plenty of the ball. And to be honest, Jonty, I'd like to see the Saints step up a little bit more. And it's for the inaccurate kicking. Glenorchy would have been a bit further out. Putting your coaching hat on, is there anything that you can see that you might think that what the Channel Storm boys should be doing? As we just come back to you in a minute, as that's a lovely chap, Ryan Ford, and maybe all we do is get the ball into that forward line.
Yes.
Gee whiz, that was great play by Ford. And tell me a little bit about him, Jonty.
Right, he's a
it's a behind. I thought that was through for a goal.
Oh, must have been touched.
Must have been touched. Anyway, sorry, mate.
No. Ryan Ford, he's a very up and down play. He gets in there a lot, and then sometimes just gets a little bit lost with the game sometimes. Feels like he doesn't want to be out there, but Brad and I give him a little pump up, and he gets out there and dominates again.
See, that's getting inside. I'm a firm believer, like your very good self there, John D. We all get told about our mistakes and our errors, and if you're just told about our potential and what we can do as the Saints go forward again, and I think that one's just gone across. But I tell you what, Johnny, this is much better signs in this second quarter here from the Saints.
Absolutely. I think it's just what we need to work on a bit more, which is composure with the ball, not rush it too much, because it's obviously wet. And obviously it's not going to go your way if you're rushing it, so go either way.
Yep, they are back in the game. Well, we saw in the first game, it was a very, very good half of football by the Clarence Football Club. I think they dominated with about 6 goals to, I think, just about nil or something. And then all of a sudden with the wet sail, the Storm came home, nearly got them up. But so far this time it's been mainly dominant by Glenorchy, although in this second quarter, the Saints are getting their hands on a footy. It comes over the back, a quick soccer off the ground. I think that might have been Sculthorpe, who again, there's been quite a number of these boys, Jonty, who are doubling up.
Yes, so we got Jordan, Fletcher and Zeph who are doubling up for us tonight. So it's really good to see these boys double up. And that was Noah Sculthorpe.
Look at that one. Noah Sculthorpe with a beautiful goal. And we'll see that again on the Mood Food replay. He went back and bang. What I liked about that one, Jonty, was where he squared his shoulders up. His eyes didn't dart. He looked directly at his target and he hammered that one home for a cracker of a goal to the Saints, which we see here on the Mood Food replay.
He's in that right area as well. He's just watching it and bang, look at that there.
Clean hands and broke away. That's just there where he squared up. Sometimes you tend to see players try and kick it around their body, and it must be hard as a coach though, Jonty, when you see the AFL doing all these tricks. But if you just keep it simple like
just
that.
Nice and simple, no need to do what the AFL players do.
Well, that's a really good start to this quarter, which has the Storm 1-1-7. Glenorchy 2-5-15, and it's like a game in two halves of these first two quarters, in that it was all Glenorchy really in the first 20 minutes, and now it is the Storm.
Downfield.
It is downfield. What's happened there? A Sculthorpe has let out.
Orochi got pushed off after he kicked it.
Okay. Well, you know he's a reasonable kick. That's probably a bit too far out. Goes into that area of danger. Sliding out there was Clark. Couldn't quite bring it in. Need to get down hard and low. Again, might have held a little bit too long. Umpire says as it's come out. Here they go again. It's driven towards the goals and just off to the side, but much better signs here, Jonty.
Absolutely. I'm trying not to yell too much.
Here is a commentator, but I tell you what, you're up and about watching your local boys go about their business. Tell you what, given the inclement weather that we've had throughout southern parts of Tasmania, this ground has held up very nicely.
Absolutely. We were a bit worried that, obviously, with the terrible rain that we've had this week, we were a bit worried that we won't play on the ground until Brad got the all clear yesterday. It was a big relief, because it's a major night for us with sponsors and past players. So we're very grateful to actually play on this special night. So.
Yes, very good indeed. So we hope that you are enjoying the coverage. It is a really good atmosphere down here at Sculthorpe Arena, as beautiful work there by Cassidy has moved up the ground a little bit. He's very dangerous deep, picked up by the fleet-footed Camerick, and Camerick has hammered that one home. And what all good teams tend to do, Jonty, is reply to the goals when the challenges come to them, and Glenorchy have done that very, very nicely.
Origin relieves the pressure from after that next goal. Now they can resettle, reassess. So hopefully we can do the same thing now, just to respond with the next goal.
What I like to see about that one, young Hunter Camerick, he ran really at the foot of the ball, and the forwards did the right thing by him. What you want your power forwards to do is compete, and if they can't mark it, bring it to the ground. Camerick was there, front and centre, picked it up and put it through for a very nice goal. So just having a bit of a look at the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard sees Glenorchy 3-5-23 to the Saints 1-2-8. Much more even contest here so far in the second quarter, as was a really, really good, strong tackle being applied there by Tan, and another stoppage has come into action. Glenorchy picking that one up, trying to go forward again. Terrific work there by Clark. Clark tries to go high and wide. Glenorchy, the beautiful pick up there, the one-hander, gets the handball further out. Ball in dispute now. Channel really competing nicely here, but unfortunately it is Glenorchy standing very tall across their half-back line. Taking time, bring it back in, and a strong mark taken by Polly. He looks like a decent cut of a lad there, Jonty.
And to be fair, this is only his first season of football.
Oh, really?
And he's absolutely dominating his first year of football. He's come from a basketball background.
Yep.
So
very good.
Ivan said to Brad, try and give him the ruck. He said, no, he's an inside midfielder. I was like, yep, no worries. So I'll let Brad do the coaching this year.
Yeah, no, he looks good. Well, it's interesting that's where I reckon it's really good, Jonty, that you can play a variety of different ports instead of, and they can help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we got Micaiah. He's come from all the way from South Arm, and he's been absolutely terrific for us this year. Like, very good. Like, he's always in there having a crack. He's always, like, wants to get involved.
Yep.
He just loves the boys and loves us. So
gee whiz, he's a long way away coming from down there.
He loves it too much. He's just really committed, and we love it to see that. And that's what we want from most boys, as you would like to see from most clubs.
So tell me this, does he get in the dinghy and come across, or does he get the car? He'd be nice and close straight across, probably on the boat.
See him on the little dinghy coming along the game day. It'll be quite fun to witness that one night.
Okay, so Glenorchy, they're under a bit of pressure here as that kick's gone back. It's going close to the line. That was very, very well done, accurate there by Sculthorpe, but just in the right position at the right time. Glenorchy were able to stop that offensive thrust. And now with 11 minutes gone, good tackle, and it's going to be a reward. Excellent work by Murray. Got a big future, this young fella, I think.
Oh, absolutely. He's an absolute gun of a kid.
He is, isn't he? He's, I think, in the talent squads, and you can see why. He's deadly with his left foot, uses the football so very, very nicely, and that's the key thing. Here they go again. Sculthorpe pulls that one back. There's a chance to mark, and they do so.
Called Bryce Summers.
So, Brycey Summers, or is it Bryce or Bry?
Bry.
It is Bry.
Funny little story about Bry tonight. We had team photos tonight, so meant to be here at 6, ready for photos, and he said to brother he's had a haircut at 5:30. I was like, well, that's a bit late for a haircut, I believe, Bry. But he turned up and he got his photos done. So
have a look, and he's got the very fashionable toque. Like the very good self. I can see you looking at my locks, and Jonty, what do you think of my toque? I've just had it trimmed up down the back.
Looks really good, very smart.
Very smart.
Very smart.
Very well done by you. And here it is, that replay coming in the right place at the right time. 3 magpies all around him, and he kept his eye focused on the ball. And it sees the Saints now as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard. It is the Channel 2-2-14, Glenorchy 3-5-23, and they're really back in the game now, Jonty.
Yes, it's really good to see him fight back, and like I told him before the game, just bring that pressure. Pressure wins games.
Certainly does.
Communication. So the boys are doing really well out there. So
here come the Magpies. They try and push this ball forward. Where they were dominant in the first quarter, they've really come out to play in this quarter. Have the Channel lads. Goes forward now. Backing back, was McDonald. Ably assisted with a quick kick, and they're standing in front. And I tell you one thing though, I've been impressed, Jonty, by both the sides in the under 16.5 and also in the under 14 game, is the clean hands that most of the boys have had. You know, it's not easy conditions, and I think they've been very, very good, their skills.
Like, it's great for them to take the challenge and try and not take the chest mark in this type of weather. It gives them that confidence, and it's good to see them to do that. Like, I loved seeing the boys do that.
Well, it's the thing to do. You've got to practice doing that. Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
Because you've got a defender coming at you. The chest mark can be easily spoiled. If you take it out in front, you're a big chance to get it. As, excuse me, backing back is the strength of Clark. He goes back. Oh, there's a really good tackle. How's the umpire seen that one? And I tell you what,
having a wonderful game so far, Bri.
I think by looking at Bry's hairstyle, he might have gone to my barber. Very trim round the old neck. He might have to put the beanie on after the game. It's get inside 50. There's a couple of whistles on play. That one has gone to the Saints. So again, yep, it is. So Murray, we know he normally uses the ball pretty well. He'll go back and look to the leads. Nothing on offer. Puts it to that area of danger. Let the forwards come out, and that was right there. It was Clark. I just thought for a minute he was going to take that one. He just fumbled it, and it's gone out of bounds. I love that kick in. It went to the open spaces there, Jonty, and it gave your forwards a chance to run up and mark the ball.
Got our small forwards in there and trying to get that front and centre ground ball. That's what we want from our small forwards.
Okay, there was Kilafui. Tried to pick that up. It's a bit deceptive to tell here, Jonty, that because of on the screen, but I went out at quarter time and stood beside a lot of these players. They're reasonably sized boys, aren't they?
Absolutely. It makes me feel a bit small next to like Noah and all that, and some of the under 14 boys are even taller than me, and I'm like a 20-year-old kid, like I feel a bit small.
Yeah, no, it's terrific, and they're getting fitter and stronger as here goes a snap-on goal, and it's just touched. I tell you what, they are surging at the minute. Is your combination of Channel Storm. Now, maybe you can tell our viewers a little bit about that combination, how it came about between the Channel and the Storm.
Well, obviously, Brad and I were talking about last year. Obviously, they knew we were going to struggle with numbers, and Brad was talking to Griffo, the runner for the under-14s, and he even said the the Storm boys were going to struggle as well, and did you want to combine?
Brilliant.
And then Brad said, let's absolutely do that. I reckon it will help the community and help the team to build.
Yes.
And what it's done now, I think we've grown a really good lifestyle with the two sides. Like we play down in Cygnet next week, so
brilliant.
It's good to combine the teams and keep the footy alive.
Well, it gives the young fellas a game that will keep them in longer, and who knows, we could have the next champ right out in front of us, all because of the forward thinking of people like your good self who say, let's get these kids on the park. It's not worried about how we go, and they're going very nicely, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And it's really good that then they ply their trade in the two communities, whether it be here or down at the beautiful, beautiful town of Cygnet, as that handball came out by Summers, but he's been deemed to be holding the ball, and it is Glenorchy to take that free kick. Just looking at the different options now. Going out wide, leading it and taking a nice mark is Stefanovic.
Starting to rain out there by the looks of it.
Is it the rain, or is
it's
just
a bit of fog?
I think it's a bit of fog just coming in. Here is Cassidy. Cassidy leaning out. He's very good down forward. He's come right up the ground now to try and grab a kick. And again, it'll be a ball up. So 17 minutes gone here in the second game of the day, and our last game for coverage. You know, Brad, we had a call from Fox Sport and Channel 7 just recently. They hate it when the STJFL goes up against their Friday night football, and we've got many viewers in, and their numbers dwindle when they know that the junior footy's on.
Absolutely, it's good to see.
It is great to see, isn't it? It's pure footy, you know, you kick it down forward and there's going to be a forward there, unlike, you know, it is good to watch the AFL, but they run round, they're very fit, and I like this pure footy when you're leading forwards coming out. It's great to see the talent. Who knows, we could be seeing some future Devils. Isn't that exciting, Jonty?
Absolutely.
To think you know, they can aim to play for Tasmania.
It's good to say, like, all the kids actually really committed to actually, like, process their football careers. Like, with Fletcher, he's really committed. And you got Declan Brett as well. You got heaps like Noah. He's been playing the rep side the last couple of years in the STJFL, and he's been dominant in the last couple of years. Obviously, got back-to-back best on grounds.
Yes.
He always loves to tell his old man about the money about it. So
brilliant. That's what we want to see, and that was courageous play there by your Channel Storm combo. That they were deep in that offensive area for Glenorchy, and they paddled their way out. It's Glenorchy coming forward again, deep into this second quarter. Picked up nicely by Duncan. Goes forward again. It's a big chance for them to mark. Spoils there. Comes back to Cassidy. He's normally true on the left foot. He puts the arm up and he loves it. And that is a goal right on the death knell of this second quarter to Cassidy. And that's Zach Cassidy's first goal, the skipper of the Magpies, which sees them move on to 4-5-29, leading Storm 2-3-15. Good play here by Cassidy Jonty. He's normally a high flyer. He saw that one of his teammates was going for the ball and he just drifted off the pack, didn't he?
In that right spot, in the right time. So he was very smart about that. So,
and I guess it's a learning experience. The two Channel boys, they both went for the spoil, which actually gave Cassidy the opportunity to be free. Fell to him. Nice clean hands. Went on to his trusted left boot and put it through for a very, very handy goal deep into this second quarter. Only seconds left to play. It is the Saints. Is it called the Saints? Mate, given they're at the Saints on, let's call them the Saints tonight.
Saints, yeah. Well, Channel Storm, Channel Saints, or
yeah,
call them the Channel Saints.
So
tonight,
I dare say we have Signet, we'll call them the Channel. We can call them the Storm, but tonight with the Saints given. Did we change Guernseys as well?
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
brilliant.
we do. Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
good to
thought.
see them wearing the Channel kit as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that. So while we're here tonight, we'll go with the Saints. All we know that we've got some ripping young men representing the Channel Signet area. The siren has gone here for half-time, which sees the Channel Storm combination 2-3-15, trailing Glenorchy 4-5-29. Excuse me, for Channel, it was Summers and Sculthorpe, and for the visitors, it is Camerick, Cassidy, Krishka and Duncan with one each. Well, I tell you what, Jonty, that was a much, much better performance from the home team in the second quarter.
A very good comeback for them. Got the pressure there, and especially with Bry, perfect first half, and with that tackle pressure, he definitely set the game up for us, and the forward pressure was a lot better as well. Didn't get out of the forward line as easy as it did in the first quarter, so credit to them. Just bring on the next half now.
Oh, it is. So as the players leave the ground, we're going to take our half-time break. Now's the time to get the kettle on, have a quick cup of tea. But as we do go to that break, again, we thank Water Industry Solutions for their partnership with the Glenorchy Magpies, and Cranes Combined, our major partner, ably assisted by Baxter's IGA and Snug, Snorm Bay Marine Services, Snug Beach Cabin and Caravan Park, of course, where I'm settled in for the night, Tassal, Tom Moore and Son, Meredith Orchards, DDM Civil Constructions and Concrete Tas. Again, it's half-time here. Channel Storm 2-3-15, trailing Glenorchy 4-5-29. We'll be back with the second half very shortly.
Yeah, they're playing footy with Glenorchy, and you know, they may create for themselves a new life out here in Australia.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. And Hunter Lockley comes out and takes a fantastic mark. He's a strong-looking rooster, Duff.
Yeah.
As soon as he ran to the ball, look at the authority that came. He just came with great authority and went up, put his dukes up, and he looks very disappointed with himself on that. He was just leant back on it, unfortunately, Duff, and put that one across his body. But we
always gets it right. That's what I say, Andrew. Free kick there to the Pies. But you're right. They've been. I don't know what the forward 50 entries has been so far.
I think Jerry will be onto that in just a few moments to keep us updated. But again, the forwards leading out, and that was Zach Cassidy, one of the co-captains of the Magpies. And it was a very nice lead. And these are the kicks, like we mentioned in the previous game, Duff, is where in the modern football, you never actually kick it at the person. You always just kick out in the front and let the forward lead into the space. Tell you what, it is a very, very high kick. Oh, well, the accuracy was there, but not the distance. I think that one has been dropping the ball, holding the ball, whatever you would like to call it. All I know is, Duff, it is a Magpie free kick. And it was Jed Kroshka, and he has put it through for the Magpies' first goal.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate there. I thought that kick actually on goal earlier was going through for a goal, but he just held up.
Cassidy, and so Duff has gone out, and I believe I'm joined by Jonty Pearce. Jonty, welcome on board.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. I'll get back and introduce you more formally in just a minute as we see the Magpies take a mark there, and backing back is Duncan, and Duncan for the Magpies is going to have a shot on goal. Not a lot in this one. You can see here, no angle to speak of, about 2 or 3 metres out, comes back. And putting your coaching hat on, is there anything that you can see that you might think that what the Channel Storm boys should be doing? As we just come back to you in a minute, as that's a lovely chap, Ryan Ford, and maybe all we do is get the ball into that forward line.
Yes.
Gee whiz, that was great play by Ford. And tell me a little bit about him, Jonty.
Right, he's a
it's a behind. I thought that was...
And Zaf, who are doubling up for us tonight, so it's really good to see these boys double up. And that was Noah Sculthorpe.
Look at that one. Noah Sculthorpe with a beautiful goal, and we'll see that again on the Mood Food replay. He went back and bang. What I liked about that one, Jonty, was where he squared his shoulders up. His eyes didn't dart. He looked directly at his target, and he hammered that one home for us. So we hope that you are enjoying the coverage. It is a really good atmosphere down here at Sculthorpe Arena, as beautiful work there by Cassidy has moved up the ground a little bit. He's very dangerous deep, picked up by the fleet-footed Camerick, and Camerick has hammered that one home. And what all good teams tend to do, Jonty, is reply to the goals when the challenges come to them, and Glenorchy have done that very, very nicely.
Origin's an absolute gun of a kid.
He is, isn't he? He's, I think, in the talent squads, and you can see why. He's deadly with his left foot, uses the football so very, very nicely, and that's the key thing. Here they go again. Sculthorpe pulls that one back. There's a chance to mark, and they do so.
Called Bryce Summers.
So, Brycey Summers, or is it Bryce or Bry?
Bry.
It is Bry.
Funny little story about Bry tonight. We had team photos tonight, so meant to be here at 6, ready for the photos, and he said to brother he's had a haircut at 5:30. I was like...
in that offensive area for Glenorchy, and they paddled their way out. It's Glenorchy coming forward again, deep into this second quarter. Picked up nicely by Duncan. Goes forward again. It's a big chance for them to mark. Spoils there. Comes back to Cassidy. He's normally true on the left foot. He puts the arm up, and he loves it, and that is a goal right on the death knell of this second quarter to Cassidy, and that's Zach Cassidy's first goal, the skipper of the Magpies, which sees them move on to... So welcome back here to Sculthorpe Arena, where we have got a very interesting and entertaining match of under 16.5 STJFL football. Friday night football here at Sculthorpe Arena, as we see Channel Storm 2-3-15 trailing Glenorchy 4-5-29. It was Zach Cassidy who kicked that goal just right toward the end of the second quarter, which has really given Glenorchy the ascendancy. But Jonty Pierce, you would have been pretty happy with the comeback of the Channel Storm boys in that second quarter.
Oh, absolutely. Very proud of the boys, where they've come from after that first quarter. And where we come at now, it's only 14 points now, so it's going to be a big last half for both teams.
Yes, it certainly is. It's always a wonderful, wonderful night on the football calendar to come down here to Snug. We have all the old players in the club rooms there. They've got all the flags up from this very, very proud club and footballing community, enjoying the night and also enjoying the future stars of the community plying their trade out here on the oval against the visitors in Glenorchy, as the ball is in dispute and it'll be a ball up. They do get the hit out, and Turnbull, quick kick further down to the forward line. Sculthorpe leading out, can't get the ball, but it's McCallum who gets in and under. Now, Jonty, I know that you were down there at half-time, and I think there has been a bit of an injury there to the Channel Storm combination.
Yeah, so we had young Zach Sculthorpe. He had a little bit of a crack in his ankle, and very hard to walk on at the moment. So he's done for the night, unfortunately. So hopefully he's okay.
So that then means that the rotations are down to 2?
Yes, 2.
Okay. Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see how that affects the boys. I would have thought that these young fellas are pretty fit. They could probably run out the game, as Duncan picked that one up, for the Magpies. He tried to get round with pace, but he slipped at the inopportune moment. That was probably taken a little bit too high. And again, the man playing the ball is rewarded, is it? Or the umpire says he just slipped under the tackle?
I think you got a bit away with that one there, McKay. I think so.
I think he was reasonably lucky there, John. Yes. But anyway, umpires there and a little bit closer than we are. He might have thought that he let in with the head. I don't mind the umpires if they do pay a few extra ones there to encourage everyone to put their head over the football, as this is good play by Channel, storming out of their half-back line. There is Sculthorpe trying to lead up to the ball, which he did not only in this game but so beautifully in the first game. He's fronting up for another one. It ends up in the hands of Fraser Clark. Now, you got a story for me about Fraser Clark.
Yes, so young Fraser Clark made his senior debut about a month ago now, about a month and a half ago.
Yep.
Played against Hobart, and the way he's been playing his footy with us, that's like he's been dominant, and that's why he deserved to play his senior debut, and he kicked 3 goals in his debut. And
3 goals?
Yep.
In senior company?
Yep. And he said he loved it, but it was too quick.
No, I think it's really good that you give young players, Jonty, a bit of a sniff of higher company. But given their bodies are still developing, I think it's great that they go back and play with their friends and play with people in their own sort of body size. But by all means, bring them up and let them have a game or two. I think that's great. But I think the sensible thing for longevity, and I know people like your good self will keep an eye on those sort of things with these young fellas.
Absolutely.
Yep. So here we go now. That was a good sliding mark by Martin, who, we saw on the Mood Food replay. This will be a tough kick here, Johnny. He's a fair way out.
Bit of an angle, isn't he?
And tight on the boundary line as he comes into sort of more 35 metres. It's good looking off the boot. It's going towards the line. There are plenty of players there. Oh! Picked up by Duncan, and we watched that one on the Mood Food replay. I thought for every money he's just going to walk towards the line and kick a goal. He's inside the 10-metre square, hooked it over and just went off the side of his boot. And you put that down to the defensive tackle there.
Getting it to little Tyler Roach. He kind of pulled his jumper backwards, made him lose his balance. So I'll give Tyler Roach the credit for that one. So
well done, Tyler Roach, the number 33 for Channel Storm, and that's where these filmings of games, Jonty, are invaluable for him to then look back at this and see what he did, that effort, and what it meant to the team is fantastic. And all of a sudden he'll think, wow, if I do that one or two more times through the match, it means so much to my team.
Absolutely. Like, that's what I used to do when we had our game filmed for OHA against Uni when I first played there. I looked back what I could do a little bit better and how I can improve my game. And and then next year I made my senior debut for OHA, and because I even said to myself, when I looked back at those videos, I worked on that, and look where it got me. So
yeah, the old video doesn't lie, and so it's a really good learning tool. And leading out here is Polly, another young man who made his senior debut as well.
Yes, he played really well. I think he only kicked the one goal, but I heard from the boys that he absolutely dominated in the forward line, and for his size and silkiness and quickness, he was very hard to tackle, I heard. So
yeah, sometimes when you see the young fellas as going up there is Bryce Summers, when you go up a level, people think it's much harder. Don't get me wrong, it is, but the ball can sometimes come to you cleaner. It's a bit better standard, and sometimes for the better players it can be a little easier.
Oh, absolutely.
I know that sounds strange, but you don't. I think if you get that,
that's how I found out when I first played seniors. It just come a lot quicker, and you got that nice hit up as well, and it made you feel good about yourself letting up to that footy.
Okay, so it is one of the young men we're just talking about, Lucas Polly. As we saw there, he got a push and a little bit too high. Normally a pretty good kick. That's a fair distance. He's given it a good shake, but it was indeed on his distance. He was probably kicking from a good 45 metres, and he, with a reasonably heavy ball, made it toward the line, but not enough to get the goal, which sees the Channel Storm Saints 2-4-16 trailing Glenorchy 4-6-30. We are 6 minutes gone into the third quarter, the championship quarter, where if you are, excuse me, behind, you need to make your move. Good spoil there on the half-back flank, going in tough in the clenches. You can see here, heads over the ball, not giving their quarter, trying to barge their way forward. That was Hunter Lockley, the skipper, co-captain for the Magpies. Been held up in this particular time, and the umpire will throw that one up. Just looking around the ground here, good crowd has come in to this gala event at Sculthorpe Arena. Talking of which, gets the handball out. There is another Sculthorpe. There's a number of them just tackled there, and nice defensive work here, and that's that pace that picks up a little bit there, Jonty.
Absolutely, yes.
Need that as soon as you get the ball, especially as you go up increments in play. It's urgency around the footy, and it's awareness, and that's a brilliant tackle there.
Wonderful by Lucas Polly. Great work rate that was.
Terrific work by him, and that's a courageous kick back in towards the centre of ground, finding Murray. Murray, he goes on to his left boot. This is good play. Finds Clark, just trying to tell the boys to settle it down.
And that's 50 metres.
Oh! So what is he? 65 out, so he's going to be right on the 10-metre mark. And what did you see there, Jonty?
Number 85, I believe, 84.
Mitchell Hutton, was it? Let's have a look.
83, I think it was.
He ran right up.
Yep, 83. He ran right
he's run up to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what he was up to there. That's a strange play. I thought he was running
with McKay, and then he just decided to go for Fraser. That's a very short fit. Oh, no. Just his long run up.
I was going to say, he's gone up to, we said he's going to be about 15 metres out. So he'll probably kick from 20.
Oh, he's missed it.
Oh, that's a terrible kick for goal. Isn't it fascinating sometimes? And I'm interested to hear your views on this, Jonty. Some players are much better when they have to kick through the ball.
Yes,
and so traditionally, if you're 35, 40 out, you have to have a proper kick. If you're 15 to 25, especially around that 25, you think to yourself, I should get this, and so you try and guide it.
Absolutely.
And
so
that's what happened right there,
I reckon what his mindset was is an easy goal. Shot on goal, didn't follow through properly, just leant back with it and just didn't go his way. So I think what he needs to do is, I think he's like 35, at least 40 metres out.
Yep.
All right, I need to be on with this kick here.
Yeah, it's the other thing, isn't it? You've got to go through, and I'm sure as a coach,
It's just like a little mindset thing as well.
You know, you practice your technique and you try and tell the kids to go through in the technique, pick a target out between the goals, kick through the ball. Don't worry about how far out you are as such. You've got to kick to the target between the sticks. And again, a good learning experience and costly, but I'm sure he's a good young man. He'll go back in hard to try and get that one. And it is the Channel Storm Saints, a 2-5-17, trailing Glenorchy 4-6-30. And just one or two errant shots and the game could be really, really tightened up here as held without the ball. They are surging at the moment, are the Storm, Jonty, but they're just not quite getting the reward for it. So you'd like, if you're a coach, it can be in one way you're really pleased that your boys are picking up the tempo, but then it's slightly frustrating you're not getting a reward for all the ball that you've got.
Yeah, especially with all the hard work efforts the boys are putting through, like with the tackle pressure and getting into space, and it just doesn't get the way you want to go.
So the last thing if you are a supporter of the Saints, is for Glenorchy to take the ball down, and they haven't had it down their area, and to get a goal, as that was Zach Cassidy who led up. He does that very, very nicely, leading up from that forward position.
I was just talking to his old man before.
Yep.
He was at the canteen while I was getting our hot chocolates. I want to go talk to Michael Cassidy, and he's pretty confident that we'll win against Hutchins tomorrow. So gives that little booster for us tomorrow. It's good. So I'm glad he said that.
He's been, I tell you what, he still goes all right. Does Cass? He's fantastic. Been a very, very good fight. Yeah, hasn't he? Big, strong forward, and it looks like it was interesting because when I first saw Zach running around, I saw a lot of Zach when he was much younger, because Michael was playing down at Lauderdale, and boy, I didn't recognise him because he's really stretched out a little bit. I haven't seen him for a few years, and that's what happens in this sort of age bracket, the sort of 14, 15, 16, late bloomer. He's stretched out.
When
he's
they started going through the puberty stage, start getting the most mustaches and the beards going.
Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? So what have we got? 11 minutes gone in the third quarter, and it is Glenorchy with a good lead, but it's the Channel who've had all the ball and just a couple of inaccurate shots, would it seem.
Very
the gap.
contest at the moment, as you could say, couldn't you?
Oh, very much so. Here come Glenorchy. Comes out towards Krushka. Drives that one in, but coming back is Toomey. Tell you, he's a strong-looking fella.
He's one of the most improved players that we've had at the club in the last couple of years. So last year, he was a bit of a bigger boy, and he did a full pre-season this year, and he looked a lot better. He came fourth in the time trials.
Oh, wow.
And the way he's improved, like he got Coach's Award last year, from my point of view, just the way he went with his footy.
Yep.
And the way he's going with it now, it's amazing, and I love watching him play.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, he runs in straight lines, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just don't run. See, if you see footy, run at it. Don't care what everyone
Love
says.
players like that. Yeah, that's really good. So here is Glenorchy, opportunity for a shot on goal. Taking their time. I think that was Camerick again, who we know is a goal scorer. Oh, he might have pulled the hammy or the glute.
There. Trying to go a bit too hard with that one, I reckon.
He was right on his limit. He went the big kick and just a bit tight in the glute. Here is Cassidy trying to barge his way forward. Just slipped over at the last minute as he tried to tackle that one in.
Here we go. We've got a little bit of scruff on here.
Just sort of showing there's a couple of strong lads. Big bulls. And what's happened here?
They're both getting sent off, uncalled for.
Yep, got the green card. And so they'll be removed from the field, have a bit of a spell. No, it's the one way. It's I don't mind the umpiring if it must have been clear to them. They want a good, fair game and just go the ball. And if they go at each other, just go and have a spell. Don't mind that, and they'll go off and just reflect on their actions.
Just learning curve.
Yep.
Just no need for it.
Yep. Just hone all your aggression at the footy. That's all we need to do. So back in here now. It's been a very, very good and entertaining game so far at, excuse me, It's been a cracker of a quarter by the Channel Storm, but they just haven't been able to get those goals. So Glenorchy now, they're pushing their way forward. It goes towards the goals, and it's just hit the padding. Tell you what, if that was a little bit higher, it would have gone through for a goal. Have a look at this. It's just hit the padding.
Duncan as well.
Yep. Yeah, that was, tell you what, lucky we got the big padding on those, Jonty. That saved the goal.
Oh, absolutely.
So very much so. 14 minutes gone in the third quarter. And it is very close fought game. Here's a chance for Storm. Oh, the old took the mark and decided to play on and went back and said, I didn't umpire. Tried to plead his case, but I think when you look at the replay, definitely made the forward motion.
Absolutely, I can back yours. That he did run with it. So
he did, didn't he? So here's a chance for Glenorchy. It skips over, going towards the goal, and gee whiz, this inaccuracy is, excuse me, keeping the Storm / Channel boys, I'll just call them the Saints for tonight, in the game. Too confusing, but it's wonderful. Again, we've mentioned before the combination of the Channel and the Storm, the two communities down here, Snug, Signet, get together, make sure all these young fellas get a game, and they've got a quality team gelling because of the quality mentorship showing by the coaching staff. People like your Brad Sculthorpe, your Jonty Pearce, excuse me, who mentor these young fellas, and it's great to see them enjoying their footy out here on Sculthorpe Arena on Friday night football. We hope that you're enjoying it here as much as we're enjoyed bringing it to you. It's a game that we always look forward to on the calendar as the tackle has been put on. And I think this is going to go a free kick here to the Magpies.
Against Jacob McCullum, one of my favourite little players, plays on the wing like I do. He's very quick. I love him. It's just the way he attacks the footy with his speed, just the way he plays his footy. I love it.
I tell you what, I think I wouldn't mind playing under you as a coach, Jonty. You're very positive, which is fantastic. It's the way to go, isn't it? It's to try and see the best in people.
That's what you got to do. Just give them that positive, and they make them good about themselves, thinking, yep, I can. If he can back me, I can do it. So
that's the idea.
So all you got to do is just back them in every day of the week.
Brilliant. Here comes Glenorchy, trying to get the ball over the 50. Being told that they have to play on. It comes out towards Polly. Quick kick, open spaces. Can they get the clean set of heels? Nicely picked up. Goes the handball. That gives the Saints the opportunity. They get the cavalry now. All handball comes over the top. They've got some space if they can. Goes the quick kick. That was Doreen, excuse me, in his haste. I reckon on that time, Jonty, if we had their time over, he probably had a little bit more time than he thought, but that's where your teammates need to have that discussion and say, listen, take your time, take a few steps.
It just comes down to communication and talking to your boys, saying you're all clear or you're hot. So that's all it comes down to.
I don't mind one of the theories, I know, putting the coaching hat on here, Jonty, when a player gets the ball, I used to encourage them to just run quickly.
Absolutely.
But, you know, like just as soon as you get the ball, just sprint.
Just use your runners. You got footy boots for a reason. You got your grip. Go for it. Have a run. Have a crack.
And I reckon if the young fella sees that one, he'll think, yep, upon reflection, that's what I did. And I was out into space. I would have had all the adoring crowd there, all the old players urging me on, and who would have known. But anyway, it is the Magpies now. They're surging. They get it towards their inside their 50, where the free-flowing Duncan goes out towards the ball. Picks
nice little spin move.
It was a beautiful spin move. It goes inside 50, but backing back, taking a nice mark is Clark. Where does he normally play most of his footy, Jonty?
On bowl. So I think by the looks of it, he's playing that little extra half back, just to help the back line out.
Yeah, I was sort of watching him, and he got a lot of the ball in the forward area, but I think it's just because of his hard running, like you said, but in that midfield area. There is Palu Fatita, and we've also got Tafita Kilufi, who have come across from Tonga and are now having a crack out at Glenorchy, and it's great to see these young fellas coming across from Tonga. And for all our friends, Jonty, who will be watching, they'll be on the live stream, we know, watching in Tonga. So how about that? Your comments are going across the Pacific right out to Tonga.
Yeah, well, when we first met Claremont, I could hear the family supporting them. It's like, it's good to see them back in their son playing football, especially from when they're from Samoa, and they're more of a rugby type people over there, and it's great to see them trying something new, and the way they support. They all play football as well, the whole family, so it's good for them to try something new, I guess.
Very, very much so. There's a little bit of low-lying clouds, fog just sort of seeping in here, but I reckon we'll get that game in well enough. It's coming up to 3/4 time. Ticking down now as the ball is thrown aloft. A good tap out shown there by Turnbull. Gets it out towards the running players. Good fist on, trying to gain some valuable meterage. Just couldn't quite keep that one in, but it's gone down towards the end that you would favour the Saints. It's clicking down towards half time. Oh, sorry, 3/4 time now. It is for all the good play, Jonty, that the Storm / Saints have done, they really haven't made so many inroads to the scoreboard.
Nah, I think it's just the execution coming to the forward line, I believe, and I think all our half forwards are probably playing a bit too high up.
Yep.
And we've got no one. We only got the one. Well, Glenorchy's probably got the 3 or 4 in the back line there. So.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to see if coaches make any different changes in this last quarter, which is almost upon us. But now it's playing out for those last seconds. It's a strong tackle on that wing position. The siren indeed has sounded before the last position, and it is the Saints 2-5-17. Trailing the Magpies 4-10-34.
Very tight game.
It is a tight game, Jonty.
And that's what we like as well.
Yep.
So.
Excellent work by the Saints to get themselves back into that. They were able to apply a great deal of pressure, had 1 or 2 chances that went begging. What are your thoughts coming into the last quarter? Do you think they have the energy and the firepower to get up from here?
Absolutely. I'll back the boys every week. Like I said to them every time, at quarter time, half time, 3/4 time, I'll back you boys. Just have a good, solid hit. As I said, don't worry about the scoreboard. Worry about our game of football and worry about it after every quarter.
That's the way to do it. Brilliant work. So there we go. It is 3/4 time. We'll take our last break for the evening. We hope you are enjoying the coverage here from Duff TV, the proud media partner of the STJFL. Of course, our premium partners of the league, Barwick's IGA, your Hobart doctor, Bennett's Petroleum, Mood Food, Brighton's best bakehouse, and AFL Tas. Don't go too far away. It is the channel 2-5-17, trailing Glenorchy 4-10-34. We'll be back with all the action of the last quarter in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter. Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, after-hours Dr. Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So we're back here and ready to go for what we are expecting to be quite an exciting last quarter of footy. In the first game, it was Clarence who defeated the Saints, but I tell you what, they came home very, very hard, and they just hung on. And it seems to be something familiar from these never say die Saints, Jonty Pearce, because they were out on their feet, and then that last couple of quarters they've really clawed their way back into the match. Had a couple of good opportunities to score goals, but they are right into this game up to their ears.
Fallen over.
Oh, look out, the old boy. He's gone down. Well, it is getting a little bit slippery out there, so he's now up and about, and that's one of the things, actually, Jonty, we haven't really mentioned because we haven't needed to. How good's the umpiring been tonight in both games?
It's been pretty consistent as well, so it's what we need. So we don't like when the kids complain about the umpiring. We want to make sure the kids enjoy their game and no complain about the umpiring, because obviously umpires are doing a good job up there. They're getting up their time to umpire your game of football, so you should give them credit for what they're doing.
Yep, and if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be playing.
Absolutely.
They've got two more senior umpires in this game, and in the first game there was a young fella, bespeckled young fella. I'll tell you what, he was terrific.
Young Jesse Frost. He
there you go.
runs water for the Signet.
Okay.
He does. He's part with Signet, and yeah, he runs the orders for the reserves and seniors. So, no, he's a good little kid, Jesse Frost. Love the kid.
Yep, terrific work. So here is the Magpies. Can they draw first blood? They kick it long and hard towards the goal. I tell you what, Jonty, it's gone over the back and through for a goal from way out.
I believe that's Cohen Duncan, isn't it?
Cohen Duncan, indeed, who was a goal scorer earlier on. You can see, look at the big smile on the boat race there.
I don't know if he's a bit shocked that it went in, or...
Well, where's he? He's marked that one sort of on 45. So when he's come and kicked this, there's the 50. So he's kicked that from, what, 49 metres. It's gone... Gee, that's a great kick.
And it's a good shepherd by Tavita as well, which is to push his opponent off the ball as well. So credit to him as well.
Yep, good team play by the Magpies. So just what the home crowd didn't want to see. It was Glenorchy drawing first blood in the last quarter. So with only a minute and a half into it, it is Glenorchy 5-10-40 leading the Saints 2-5-17. We know have a never die attitude, and they need to get a bit of a wriggle on now if they're to make some impressions on this game. It's Turnbull who tried to get around, Hunter Lockley, and he disposed of him very, very swiftly. Good hands here by Glenorchy to move the ball swiftly from one end of the ground to the other. Comes back over the top of the players. There is Fafita. Comes back around. Very fleet of foot young fella. Goes to try and shepherd that one again. Spoilt for it this time as Thompson came out. He was put on his back. Ball comes back in towards the middle of the ground. Charging their way through is Meredith. Young Fafita again coming out. He's starting to get a bit of an impression on it. Same with Kalafutu. These young Tongans are certainly getting a bit of a handle on the ball as the game goes on. It is the Channel. They are under enormous amounts of pressure now as they are surging, are the Magpies. They are pushing and pushing and pushing. And some of these handballs you can see here, Jonty, that they look like possums in a headlight of a car coming towards them, don't they?
Just can't hold the god footy, can't they?
So now it is the Saints with a bit of time and space finally as they go forward. That's a nice kick of the ball, and finding McCullum.
A little pocket rocket. I'll say about him, a little pocket rocket.
Okay, he got the handball there, and unfortunately...
He ran into a bit of traffic there, didn't he?
I guess that's the thing there. I encourage players to make the handball, but always try and handball to someone in a better position or someone moving.
Absolutely.
Never stationary.
And that's well covered by Fraser Clark as well to bring all that pressure to bid that 2v1.
Okay. What do we got here? We're at the 4-minute mark. Of course, we play 20 minutes in the under 16.5 with no time on. There's... there we go. We give a bit of a wave from over inside there, our commentary tower.
In there, so.
Yes. We are a little bit warmer than out there. We can see probably held without the ball. It's probably the only place Jonty, that is quite wet underfoot, just in that pocket there.
Yeah, it's always been like that up there. So when I played down here against Cygnet when I was at Hobart, when we, because obviously Cygnet play one-off game down here every year.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to play down here when I was playing for Hobart, and up that end of the ground it was like a puddle. So it was unreal. Well, the rest of the ground is in great nick, and here's a young man that has had a really, really good game of it. And going back, taking a very clever mark is Jai Toomey, one of your favourite players. Yes.
Got the coach's award, gets out further afield towards Clark. Clark, excuse me, just taking some time. I think this might be the handball. And he does the good block and shepherd out towards the fast advancing Murray. Clark is there.
Well done by Zeph Clark there to run through the pack.
He certainly did. Here's where you need your front and centres. And terrific pick up there by Finn Griffiths. He had his eyes transfixed on the football, ran hard at it.
And very well composed with the kick as well.
Wasn't he? That was clever play by him as it's close towards the line, and indeed it has found its way over. And because it's in dispute and off the hands, the umpire will throw that one up. Now, Jonty, we've been talking about one particular rule, and that is the in between the arcs when it's kicked out. It's a free kick. Where do you lay on that?
I only learnt that that was a rule a couple of weeks ago, and because obviously it's a bit hard with no boundary umpires, so it's the only way they can really do it. So it's I don't mind it, but it's something they have to do, unfortunately, when they probably don't really want to.
Well, it's interesting, as Duff and I spoke before you came into our commentary position, it is played like that in the AFLW. And I don't mind it because sometimes the interpretation of an umpire, whether it's on purpose or not, at least it takes the decision out of their hands. It's just if it happens to come off the boot, and it potentially can keep the game moving. But it's one that potentially might get looked at, because sometimes when I see the conjecture of whether it's on purpose or a skill error, just play it and then we know it. There's some clarity. But anyway, it's back to that little puddly spot as Glenorchy, through good teamwork, it's Chivers who takes the kick, but standing tall is Turnbull.
He's been having a good year for us this year, Sam Turnbull. So when I first started coaching, I didn't know where to put Sam, because I had between Sam and Noah for the ruck. So I put Noah in the ruck and put Sam down forward.
And here is Noah.
Speaking of the devil.
Yeah, he certainly is. And you'd like a couple of him at the moment. He looks very dangerous when the ball is in his area down forward, doesn't he?
Very dangerous when he's up in the air going for a mark. So
he certainly is, but that's good play here by Glenorchy. Through a chain of handball, then through short footwork. I think that one's held without the ball. Bryce Summers has been paid the ball. Holding the ball.
On the ball, believable. Yeah.
Gee whiz, oh well.
That was pretty quick, wasn't it?
It was very quick.
Very quick.
Yep. As we always say, Jonty, the umpires are much closer than us. And who knows, he might have sort of said, you've had time, son. We're not privy to what the communication is between the umpires and the players. And here is Cassidy, who finds his way back onto the field, probably from that. Is it 10 or 15? I think it's 15, 10, is it? Or 10? 10 minute spell. And we can see there he's come back on and really made the ball his target.
I believe Tom Grange from the Channel Storm can come on as well, because they got sent off at the same time.
Correct. So the boys are back on. Find the handball. Comes towards Clark. He can't get away and get the ball. Another chain of handballs here. Head over it, trying to fight their way through. You can see the weight of numbers. All the Magpies are getting a few extras back in defence.
That's a wonderful tackle by Sam Turnbull there.
Certainly is. Ooh, for a minute there, I thought that was dangerous. Didn't know if the ball was given to him on the full.
Here we go. He's my boy. Oh, he's cramping up.
What's happened here? I thought he might have pulled a fetlock. Let's hope he's not hurt his knee, because we'll have a look at the Mood Food replay here, Jonty. Let's see when he lands. Oh, did he jar it?
Oh, I think he's cramping up. I think when he jumped up, I reckon. Yeah, he's cramping.
Well, that's good news, because I thought for a minute the young fella might have done a knee, but if it's cramp, that can be easily fixed.
just get some deep heat on her, or just get some pickle juice, or even Vegemite. Even Vegemite helps the cramps.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Every time I get a cramp, I have some Vegemite in my bag, and I run in there and get me Vegemite.
There you go. You're hearing it all from the wise one, Jonty Pearce. All the tricks of the trade as, excuse me, big kick towards the true full forward zone, almost like a rolling scrum, trying to get that ball towards the line.
That was Lucas Pod trying to get it through there.
There's plenty of players around the ball here, Jonty. Have a look at them all. There's way too many. That's going to be tough to get a clean ball and a shot on goal.
Fraser Clark's in a good spot there to get that next ball.
Comes back out. Anything they can just hope to try and get a free kick, but they needed to try and get the players out, and so if they're all in there, it just means that the rest of the ground is going to be very open, which allows Glenorchy to rush that ball out. So from one end to the other, it can go very, very swiftly. But that was McDonald for the Saints. Picked up now by the Magpies. Going back inside their forward 50, it's Reese Meredith. Meredith goes to try and pick the ball up and does so very nicely. Puts it out with a lovely chip kick towards Martin. Martin's dispossessed that particular line by Clark. I thought for all money that was going to be a mark to young Martin. Ball in dispute, going close towards the line. Closely contested ball now. 11 minutes gone into our last quarter. It's been a terrific night down here.
Man down behind the players, Fletcher Murray. He looks like he got a bit of a knock into the back of the head.
Okay.
He's up and about now, so.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, especially coming up, playing 2 games. It's credit to him.
It certainly is a credit to him as the mighty Stanza turning tall, and you can hear in the effects microphone the occasional cheer. That's because there's a lot of local support for the Saints tonight in the old players function. Here is Cassidy, turns it on his left boot. He's kicked a goal. That one was just a little bit flamboyant, but was the long drop, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit too wide in his liking, I believe.
And it is out of bounds. So it is Glenorchy with a very good lead at this stage, given the way the game has been played. It hasn't been free-flowing goals. They've been hard to come by, Jonty, haven't they?
Absolutely. I think there's only been 1 goal scored in this last half. So very great mark there by Fraser Clark in the contest there.
A fantastic mark. It is invaluable when you have a player who can take those contested marks. It's easy if you can take them out on your own, but
unfortunately,
that was unfortunate indeed. And Henry Horn comes in and chips in. They're just taking their time now, Glenorchy. The clock is on their side, and they can just sort of slow this pace down slightly if they want to. It favours them. That's a really clever kick. Coming back in towards Griffiths. Spills the mark, but he recovers very, very nicely. That's a high kick, and having to show some courage was Krushka underneath the ball. Not an easy thing to do was stand there like that, and out comes the strength of Cassidy with a very, very good mark. And Cassidy, he says to the rest of the teammates, I'm going to go back and have a shot on goal. This is really good play, Jonty, by the Magpies, wasn't it?
Absolutely. They took their time. They just composed it really, really well, because I knew they didn't want to rush, and they executed really well. So let's hope. Well, that's the thing. Let's hope they can finish this one off here.
Okay, so it is Cassidy coming in. Swing round the left boot. He's just hooked that one across his body. Maybe that was just on the edge of his distance, I reckon. Excuse me there, Jonty. And sometimes in an effort to get that extra distance, you can hook the ball across your body.
Just go around, your body, don't you?
Excuse me. So Glenorchy coming back into attack. Good couple of tackles there by the players. It's been a really fierce encounter, a very fair encounter. It's just a couple of lads who squared off, but there was nothing much in it. But the umpire just decided to step in, show some authority, which I didn't mind at all. But other than that, what I've liked about it tonight, Jonty, there's been some good tackling, and when people have tackled, excuse me, they've just got up and gone for the ball.
Absolutely. I think the pressure's been there from both sides for sure, especially I'm going to say his name again, but Bryce Owen has been absolutely unreal with the pressure, and I reckon in my books he'll be in the best players tonight, I reckon. So if Brad doesn't put him in the best players, I'll be having a word with Bradley.
Oh, you might have to get down there and shuffle those magnets around, and and our best and fairest vote. So it is the, excuse me, the Saints. They get that one, but Glenorchy in good position, nice and steady. And now they're really opening up this side of the ground as they go out towards the fat side.
Up here now, yes.
If they can try and get that ball moving, they come back into the area of danger. That was when the kick came back in there, though, and that was Cassidy coming out and showing a really, really good tackle. Falls to Thompson. Thompson goes high and long. They do keep it in. They're under a lot of pressure. This is where you'd like to see the ball out, and that's the way it's seen. Excuse me. It is going to be another ball up deep inside the Glenorchy forward 50.
This is where Channel will need to really be tight around here now, especially in that Glenorchy's forward 50. Only about 15 in front of goal.
It is a dangerous area. That's a very high kick. Standing underneath it is Duncan, and for his courage, he's being paid a free kick. The umpires deemed that there was a charge, and he's going to go back probably a little bit too far out from what I've seen of him so far. Although that said, he kicked one from about 49 metres, didn't he? That went over the top of the pad.
Yes.
Let's see if the Saints have learnt from that one. They've got more players back. Oh, that's I was going to say a strong mark. A bit unlucky there. Almost
very unlucky.
Pay that mark. The ball has stayed in, close to boundary line, trying to get some valuable meterage, and it was Sculthorpe. Noah Sculthorpe's back in. The kick comes out, but Glenorchy come back with interest. Just gone on that near side and a minor score.
Great to see the young fella doing the goal umpiring as well, so it's great to see him.
Is he a local fella?
No, it looks like he's from Claremont. So
okay.
But no, give him credit for standing in the cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they go, Glenorchy. On towards those goals, but chipping it off is Fraser Clark, and he's been down both ends, as you've said before, Jonty. He's normally a midfield player, and he looks like he's just dropping behind the ball at the moment to help out what is the time of the ball in there inside the the defensive area. So he's coming down to help the defenders out.
Absolutely, he's doing the team thing as a midfielder, helping the both forwards and back line. What's really good to see from him. So.
Gee whiz, that's a turn of pace. And
from Tom Gorringe.
It was Tommy Gorringe, and I didn't mind the way he went about it, but Kalafui, I'll tell you what, he's been very good down back. He's been very, very steady, the young fella from Glenorchy. Absolutely. But talking about good players, this young fella, Clark, has been probably in their best for sure.
Absolutely, and we've got a 50-metre here as well.
Yeah, we can see what's happened here. He's gone back, gone up. I love the way you see players attack the ball.
Oh, there we go. Number 17 ran through the... Oh, what a night there.
I don't know whether it was Camerick or whether he could have just passed through there, said something, but you can't go anywhere near the player with the ball. You've got to give him those valuable meterage. So, again, Duncan goes the handball. What happened there? That was Krushka.
Pitch, yeah.
Just slipped over at the inopportune moment and took a little bit of a hit and just charging through. Here they come, Glenorchy. Get it inside their 50, but so far the Saints have been irrepressible down there. They've been able to stop all those forward thrusts. Although there hasn't been many goals scored, excuse me, Jonty, it's been very entertaining footage.
Absolutely, and I think also like Fletcher Murray down there is holding up the back line really well down there, and with a lot of pressure put onto him, he's handled it really, really well.
I agree. Well, this young man, he'd get a game in my team, Duncan. He's been very good so far, hasn't he?
Everywhere, hasn't he? He's
very good young player, showed courage, and he just keeps running and running and running as Chivers has taken a nice mark there for the Magpies. Chivers spins around very quickly, just delivers that ball quickly into the forward 50. There's a hook on play as it goes towards the goal, the front and centre, and it's either just scraped that big padding or just through on the incorrect side if you are a Glenorchy supporter. So it is the Saints deep into this game now. They're going to take this kick from deep in their defensive line. Goes the left footer, chips it out, looking towards Turnbull, who I reckon has had a very good game for the Saints.
He's been really good for us this year, and last year he's been pretty good. He won my most improved last year since I put him in the ruck. He's just dominated the ruck the whole year.
Yeah, he's gone well all around the ground, hasn't he?
Yeah, found his proper position last year. So in the round 2, I think it was, I found his position. So
brilliant. So there was Sculthorpe getting the quick kick as Evans picks that up across half back. He steams toward play, but gee whiz, they're just really good down back. Glenorchy have had that ball inside their 50, but it's just this kick right there, Jonty, the one that they've come out of their half back line, and Glenorchy have set up really, really well behind the ball.
Yeah, that's where probably our half forwards are a bit too up much to the ground instead of staying back.
Glenorchy going inside the 50 again. They've had a lot of entries. Here comes Cassidy. Cassidy on his left boot. It's gone very, very high, and on the last line of the fence, it is Lindsay, I think, takes that mark. And there indeed is the siren, full time here at Sculthorpe Arena, which sees Channel Southern Storm 2-5-17 defeated by the visitors Glenorchy 5-13-43. For the home team, it was Bry Summers with 1 and Noah Sculthorpe with 1. Excuse me. And for the victors, it was Cohen Duncan with 2, Jed Krushka, Zach Cassidy, and Hunter Camerick for Glenorchy. So as far as you're concerned, Jonty, what do you think was probably the main difference in the two teams tonight?
I think it was just a bit like, obviously, Glenorchy had a bit more composure.
Yep.
I believe. I think we were just trying to rush it down and get in our full line a bit too quickly. I feel like we just need to slow it down and obviously not our half force not to creep up too much. I believe that's where it kind of killed us. But obviously, I'll give our boys the credit. Obviously, come from last time, we lost them by probably about 110, 20 points, and only losing by,
that's great effort.
Like 30 or like 20 odd points here. It's an awesome credit to them. So I'm very proud of the boys. So it was a very good, cracking game of football tonight, and I'm very happy with it. So.
Yeah, well, we've had a very, very enjoyable night as far as Duff TV is concerned, and as, dare I say it, the Vice President of this esteemed association, the STJFL, it's wonderful to see events like this one put on annually, so we thank all the hard work from the Channel Football Club. Of course, our contact down here is the great Brad Sculthorpe, and we thank him for his efforts and energy. We would like to also thank our sponsors for tonight. And our major sponsor for the channel is Cranes Combined. We thank them very much. Our very dear friends and partners, Baxter's IGA and Snug, Storm Bay Marine Services, Snug Beach Cabin and Caravan Park, Tassal, Tom Moore and Son, Meredith Orchard, DDM Civil Construction and Concrete Tas. And for our friends at Glenorchy, of course, we want to thank Water Industry Solutions, always a great sponsor of the Glenorchy Football Club and football in general. Well, Jonty, that's all for us, as I reckon that's just where you're going to end up in there.
Absolutely. I reckon I might get another hot chocolate. Too cold for a beer, I reckon, so I might have a hot chocky.
Well, mate, thank you so much for joining us. For all the team here at Duff TV, we've got Jerry, Ben, Duff, and your very good self, the old Silver Fox. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. We've had an absolute ball bringing it to you. Now I reckon we can give you permission to switch over to watch the AFL. We hope you've enjoyed all the young players coming out. Thank you for you, and it's a very good night from Duff TV.
Yeah, they're playing footy with Glenorchy, and you know they may create for themselves a new life out here in Australia.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. And Hunter Lockley comes out and takes a fantastic mark. He's a strong-looking rooster, Duff.
Yeah.
As soon as he ran to the ball, look at the authority that came. He just came with great authority and went up, put his dukes up, and he looks very disappointed with himself on that. He was just leant back on it, unfortunately, Duff, and put that one across his body. But
always gets it right. That's what I say, Andrew. Free kick there to the Pies. But you're right. They've been, I don't know what the forward 50 entries has been so far.
I think Jerry will be onto that in just a few moments to keep us updated. But again, the forwards leading out, and that was Zach Cassidy, one of the co-captains of the Magpies. And it was a very nice lead. And these are the kicks, like we mentioned in the previous game, Duff, is where in the modern football, you never actually kick it at the person. You always just kick out in the front and let the forward lead into the space. Tell you what, it is a very, very high kick. Oh, well, the accuracy was there, but not the distance. I think that one has been dropping the ball, holding the ball, whatever you would like to call it. All I know is, Duff, it is a Magpie free kick, and it was Jed Kroshka, and he has put it through for the Magpies' first goal.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate there. I thought that kick actually on goal earlier was going through for a goal, but he just held up.
Cassidy, and so Duff has gone out, and I believe I'm joined by Jonty Pearce. Jonty, welcome on board.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. I'll get back and introduce you more formally in just a minute as we see the Magpies take a mark there, and backing back is Duncan, and Duncan for the Magpies is going to have a shot on goal. Not a lot in this one. You can see here, no angle to speak of, about 2 or 3 metres out, comes back, and putting your coaching hat on, is there anything that you can see that you might think that what the Channel Storm boys should be doing? As we just come back to you in a minute, as that's a lovely chap, Ryan Ford, and maybe all we do is get the ball into that forward line.
Yes.
Gee whiz, that was great play by Ford. And tell me a little bit about him, Jonty.
Right, he's a
it's a behind. I thought that was...
And Zaf, who are doubling up for us tonight, so it's really good to see these boys double. And that was Noah Sculthorpe.
Oh, look at that one. Noah Sculthorpe with a beautiful goal, and we'll see that again on the Mood Food replay. He went back and bang. What I liked about that one, Jonty, was where he squared his shoulders up. His eyes didn't dart. He looked directly at his target, and he hammered that one home for us. So we hope that you are enjoying the coverage. It is a really good atmosphere down here at Sculthorpe Arena, as beautiful work there by Cassidy has moved up the ground a little bit. He's very dangerous deep, picked up by the fleet-footed Camerick, and Camerick has hammered that one home. And what all good teams tend to do, Jonty, is reply to the goals when the challenges come to them, and Glenorchy have done that very, very nicely.
Origin, that absolute gun of a kid.
He is, isn't he? He's, I think, in the talent squads. And you can see why. He's deadly with his left foot, uses the football so very, very nicely, and that's the key thing. Here they go again. Sculthorpe pulls that one back. There's a chance to mark, and they do so.
Good, Bryce Summers.
So, Brycey Summers, or is it Bryce or Bry?
Bry.
It is Bry.
Funny little story about Bry tonight. We had team photos tonight, so meant to be here at 6, ready for photos, and he said to brother he's had a haircut at 5:30. I was like...
in that offensive area for Glenorchy, and they paddled their way out. It's Glenorchy coming forward again, deep into this second quarter. Picked up nicely by Duncan. Goes forward again. It's a big chance for them to mark. Spoils there. Comes back to Cassidy. He's normally true on the left foot. He puts the arm up, and he loves it, and that is a goal right on the death knell of this second quarter to Cassidy, and that's Zach Cassidy's first goal, the skipper of the Magpies, which sees them move on, especially to go up increments in play. It's urgency around the footy, and it's awareness, and that's a brilliant tackle there.
Wonderful by Lucas Polly. Great work rate that was.
Terrific work by him, and that's a courageous kick back in towards the centre of ground, finding Murray. They've really clawed their way back into the match. Had a couple of good opportunities to score goals, but they are right into this game up to their ears.
Fallen over.
Oh, look out, the old boy. He's gone down. Well, it is getting a little bit slippery out there, so he's now up and about, and that's one of the things in this game. And in the first game, there was a young fella, a bespectacled young fella. I'll tell you what, he was terrific.
Young Jesse Frost. He
there you go.
runs water for the Signet.
Okay.
He does. He's part with Signet, and he runs the orders for the reserves and seniors. So, no, he's a good little kid, Jesse Frost. He's a lovely kid.
Yep, terrific work. So here is the Magpies. Can they draw first blood? They kick it long and hard towards the goal. I tell you what, Jonty, it's gone over the back and through for a goal from way out.
I believe that's Cohen Duncan, isn't it?
Cohen Duncan, indeed, who was a goal scorer. It's gone very, very high, and on the last line of the fence, it is Lindsay, I think, takes that mark. And there indeed is the siren, full time here at Sculthorpe Arena, which sees Channel Southern Storm 2-5-17 defeated by the visitors Glenorchy 5-13-43. For the home team, it was Bry Summers with 1 and Noah Sculthorpe with 1. Excuse me. And for